Trevor, pro wrestling is dead, and so is my heart.
Yeah. That was such a hot take. My microphone fell.
Well, good, because I almost fell off a building after what Jon Moxley did to the American Dragon Bryan Danielson in real life. Saddest moment in the history of pro wrestling.
In most realistically satisfying moment in most of the wrestling, because it makes sense. It makes sense.
How dare you say that while I'm wearing this?
That's a cool jacket. It's
a very cool. It's a cool jacket, and it's a like AEW. I'm gonna say this. For the first time in history, the merch stand at an AEW show was stocked up with good merch.
There you go.
It took them 5 years, Trevor, but they
got it. Yeah, because to be honest, the last AEW show I went to, slim pickings.
Slim pickings indeed, but definitely not slim pickings for this podcast, because I'm Omer.
I'm Trevor.
And this is the saddest edition of O.T. Graps you will ever hear. Because as I said before, Bryan Danielson is dead. in storyline.
In the storyline, yeah.
They murdered that. They attempted to murder that man.
He has ceased to be in the storyline.
First of all, I need to address it. Takara Moon, you need a Seth Rollins jacket. No. No,
he has a great jacket on. I actually do like that jacket a lot.
Is there even like stuff on the back?
Stand up. Let the people see it a little bit.
Oh no, I'm in the shorts today. I can't.
Oh, you're in the shorts. Yeah, well, let's check it out. Actually, that is very nice.
Yeah, it's the nicest piece of merch that AEW's ever made.
It's some of the hoodies were nice. The first AEW hoodies that they had, those were really nice too. But yes,
we will talk about the American Dragon Bryan Danielson. We will talk about all of that stuff. It's like AEW hates money. Look, hey, they got a lot of it now. They got some of mine. They got like way too much. I saw the price of that jacket and I looked at it and I was like, "You sons of guns, you sons of guns."
No, I'm gonna buy it.
No, they knew, because they knew. And this is the last. I got the last one, Trevor. I got the last one.
Now, do they have good sizes? Because like when I went, they only had like maybe 3 sizes in everything, and like they only had like maybe 5 shirts.
I have no idea. All I know is they only had one left, and it was the one that was hanging up on the wall, and it was a size small, which was the one that I needed, because I'm a small king.
You're small? I thought you were medium.
I'm a small king. I'm going to the gym, Trevor. Been trying to fix myself, get myself back to a small, But we got a lot to get into. We got to talk about that. PWI Women's 100 was released. We will get into that as well. Also going to talk about Trevor, who's been going on a very interesting journey as of late.
Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
But he is going through an era of wrestling that I could not rewatch after already rewatching it once. But we'll talk about that and so much more. Before we get into that, sound off in the chat. Many of you already are. Hello to everyone. Hello to Kara, CC. Kara, shout me out. You know I got drip. Thank you. Shout out to CC. Shout out to it. Was it recyclable? Look, I have not checked. But in storyline, it is.
Yes.
What are you saying, my guys? I mean, look, yes, I said what I said. Yeah, Taco Kid. Well, shout out to Taco Kid. I met Taco Kid at Wrestle Dream. I was
gonna ask how that was.
Yeah. No. Taco Kid's a strapping young gentleman, very nice guy too. Shout out to you, Taco Kid. Is fun to see you. You got to witness me before the mental breakdown that ensued when Bryan Danielson lost. Oh, by the way, there's this guy. Like, look, I have no problem with people being like, fans of a WWE going to an AEW show or AEW going to a WWE. Look, do what you gotta do. Don't be a jackass. And y'all know what I mean. Trevor, you especially, you know what I mean when I'm like, don't be a jackass, right?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. because most wrestling fans are jackasses.
Look. In the best way, though. In the best way, I'm a jackass. In the best
Some
way.
of them.
We're all look. We've all dealt with our own bouts of jackassery, but there's this guy who just kept going, Daniel Bryan. He had one too many. About 5 minutes into the show, and
of course,
it did not get better throughout.
Of course it did.
And it was one of those things. He kept on doing like WWE. He's like, yeah, and he kept on trying to get WWE stuff over. And it was like not like one of those like, oh, he's a fan, whatever, he's doing it. It was one of those he's deliberately trying to, piss people off.
Yeah.
So
those are the ones that kind of get on my nerves.
Joe says my jacket had a plastic bag in it. Oh, the horror. Oh no. That would have been an insane gimmick. Like you buy or you buy John Moxley's like merch and they give you like a plastic bag. You crazy.
That'd have been funny as hell.
Oh man. Well, Trevor, before we get into the match, let's talk about Wrestle Dream as whole. Wrestle Dream, what did you think of it? Was it as horrible as people online are telling you it is, or is it as great as people online are telling you it is?
I thought it was a good show. I didn't think it was that bad, honestly. I mean, we talked about the matches, and I still think they threw a bunch of them together. There was really no build-up to a lot of them, but for being what it was, good show. I mean, is it in the top 10 of shows? No. But it is a good show. It was definitely a good show. AEW doesn't normally disappoint when it comes to the product of wrestling. When they wrestle, they have great wrestlers and they show it. They put on a great show normally every pay-per-view. So, no, I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought it was a very good show. It wasn't the best show they've ever had, but it was a good show.
Yeah, I think you had said off camera like a sentiment that I truly believe, and I said it was like this show was exactly what it needed to be.
Yep, exactly what it needed to be. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And I agree with you. Like I think that not like, and it was this weird thing, and I'll get into this more when we talk about the Bryan stuff later, but the vibe of this pay-per-view is different than any other AEW pay-per-view or event I've attended, and it was like. I've attended quite a bit, admittedly.
Yeah.
Like, this was so different afterwards, especially. Like, afterwards, there's usually, like, people are having fun. They're like, chanting. Something big may have happened, a return, a debut, a title change, whatever. They usually leave you satisfied. This obviously did not. And I think, the vibe in that arena was so different. And professional wrestling, right? The best thing about pro wrestling is, like, there's never just one perfect answer to an event or a story or whatever. There's multiple. And I think as long as it makes you feel something, right? And it's not like a feeling of like, I'm either bored or just like confused watching this. If it engages you and it makes you feel, that is the sign of a good wrestling show.
Absolutely.
I thought Wrestle Dream was a really, really good wrestling show that preceded 3 or 4 insanely great wrestling, 5 great wrestling shows, because you had Revolution at the beginning of the year, which I my personal opinion, Sting's last match, the greatest thing that Tony Khan will ever produce.
Yep, absolutely. He will try to do better, and he will get close. He won't do anything better.
Well, until he gets to Bryan's last match. And then you want to talk about waterworks. You want to talk about real waterworks. When he wrestles his actual last match,
yep.
I'm going to jump the guardrail. All right? Leap into Bryan's arms just so he can hit me and tackle me with a labella lock. Oh man, it is gonna be. I will be immortalized forever.
Yes, with a broken everything.
With a broken everything, banned from every wrestling show ever. No, will not be doing that. But again, I thought Wrestle Dream was a good show. I think the one big thing that everyone's pointing out about the show outside of the main event, Private Party, Trevor, did not win the tag titles. This was something that you and I had talked about. There seemed to be a lot of momentum behind this. Yet, for whatever reason, they were sticking with the Young Bucks. Talk to me about it.
I don't know what the ideology behind that was. If it's like they don't know if Private Party can do it yet, or they don't have faith in them yet. It's one of those things. It's kind of like when Braun Breaker first competed for the Intercontinental title, and he had all the momentum. We all thought he was going to win that match at that pay-per-view. All the momentum, everything, and at the last minute, Sammy kept it. I'm wondering if it's something similar to that. If they're gonna drop it to him later on down the line, and if they pulled the trigger like last minute type thing, like no, maybe they shouldn't win it right now type thing. So I don't know exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not. No sources have told me that I'm right about it, but I'm wondering if that's kind of the issue.
See, I would agree that, maybe they're holding off on it.
Right.
But I don't know if there's a story there that's left.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's how I felt about Braun. I felt like him winning it the way he won it was taking something away from it. And now, like, they did the same thing with Private Party. I feel like the well is probably dried up. You know what I mean?
Yo, that insane promo, that hype promo by Amazing Red, which, look, Tacoma, Washington, let me talk to you real quick. Y'all need to be educated about pro wrestling, because I should not have been the only person in my section marking the fuck out about Private Party. I was also marking out about Private Party, but Amazing Red. This man has inspired an entire generation of high flyers, revolutionized. I haven't seen
Amazing Red in so long. Oh, Amazing Red was so good.
Yo, it's to the point where, like, I didn't call it a Canadian Destroyer. I call it Code Red. Like that's my guy.
That's what.
Shout out to Amazing Red.
I mean, I grew up calling it the Code Red.
Code Red. Code Red. Code Red.
Petey Williams did it. It was the Canadian Destroyer, but no, I called it a bit Code Red. That's what I knew it is. But no. But yeah, seeing Amazing Red was awesome though.
Yeah. But if there's no story there to be told, because I think the end game for the Bucks is probably Kenny and Kota Ibushi. I think that's the end game, and that's fine. But then why did we go to all this trouble trying to make it look like you were going to do something with Private Party? Like, my thing is, look, not every character in a story is meant to have a happy ending. I totally understand and sympathize with that idea. But at the same time, Trev, like, we gotta do something. You built all of this up, and like, you had a chance here to like establish people as mainstays, right? Like, winning a championship is how you help establish young stars. And these guys are no spring chickens, Trevor. The big hype around them, the biggest moment prior to this was them beating the Young Bucks in the tag title tournament in the first couple of weeks of AEW Dynamite. That was 5 years ago, Trevor. Yeah. 5 years they've been floundering.
They were on this high the stairs ladder going straight up, and then they just hit the top and just kept plummeting down. They haven't done anything since then. Like, I mean, they broke them up for a minute, then they made them a joke. Like,
oh my God, is that Private Party?
That Private Party?
Like, that was Isaiah Cassidy's catchphrase. I don't know what to tell you.
Unfortunately, it was.
Shout out to him.
But no, like, I mean, they're a good team. They really are, and it's a shame that they're not doing more with them. Like, they did so much with the Acclaim, and the Acclaim had less to work with, I thought. Yeah. But I mean, come on, like, why not do the same with them? Like, you took the Acclaim and ran with it. You took the Acclaim and pushed them to the moon. Why not do the same thing with Private Party? I mean, who else are you gonna deal with? You're not gonna deal with
the Outrunners, baby. Give me the Outrunners for tag champs.
That'd be hilarious. But no,
Trevor Nomer, do you think we'll have Ricochet versus Claudio? That's a TV match if I've ever heard one.
yeah, it is. That's definitely a TV match. That's a match that I think we've seen like 16 times. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I already see a derogatory chat towards me. In which, how dare you, Job? I thought you were. I thought we were friends, Job.
What Job said?
Job said the Danielson thing was gonna happen. Look, hey, listen, let me talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care about logic. I don't care about time. Bryan Danielson is timeless. He's the greatest thing to ever exist.
You will not win this one. This is not one you will ever win. He is one of the most faithful Bryan Danielson fans I've ever met in my life. I actually know 3, and him and my other buddy Chris are probably the 2 biggest Bryan Danielson friends I've ever seen in my life.
Good job. Good for you, Chris. I hope you're watching.
I took me and Chris went to ROH Bryan Danielson versus Roderick Strong. That was one of my first ROH matches, and he went off like such a mark.
Good. We love that Markomania running wild.
And he was big. He was big then, but he wasn't as big as he of course is now. But he was definitely getting his momentum. This is before he even got near a WWE ring. He spent some time in New Japan. He's been paying his dues, but this was like raw, pure Bryan Danielson.
Joe's saying he's going to be back. That's not what this is about, Joe. That is not what this is about. Not what this is about. This is about the greatest wrestler of all time just stepping back. Just stepping back. Stepping away. Like you don't understand, man. These kids these days will never understand everything that I've been through. I'm fighting for my life to make sure that professional wrestling lives on. And meanwhile, I have the greatest wrestler of all time saying, oh, well, no more full-time for me. What you mean no more full-time for you, Brian? What you mean, bro? Fix that neck up. Get some stem cells. Inject it.
He's done so much. He
turn
needs
that
to
man
have
into
fun.
a cyborg so he wrestles. Fight forever. Fight forever. Come on.
He needs to pave the way for other great wrestlers.
Oh man, we got oh my god, we got a bunch of people in the chat sounding off. Private Party need to step up their game. Everything Mox said was true. Hey now, they stepped up. They stepped up, man.
They did. They definitely did.
Wrestle Dream had a massive 8,000 crowd. Yeah, there were about 8,000 people there. Last year, Wrestle Dream, everyone was so happy on the way out because Edge debuted. This year, it was the polar opposite because everyone was so depressed on the way out. Yep.
Yeah.
It's like we got John Keegan saying he may jump ship to WWE next. Who jumping ship to WWE? Brian?
Who?
No.
He ain't going back to
No. Let me tell you something. That is not what he's doing. Point blank, simple. Hi, is John Moxley... Okay, I need to address these rumors. Somehow, some way, people on the internet have convinced the IWC that Moxley is going back to WWE in 2025.
He's signed through like 2027, isn't he?
Yes. He is signed through at least 2027. I don't think he's going back. I would never say
I'm going to be honest with you. John Moxley has too much freedom. He has way too much freedom right now to go back to that single box.
Well, can we address the critique? Like, people are saying John Moxley is like going back to WWE. It is just not true. But like, there is a desire, I think, to see him go back. Right? Would it work?
There is. I mean, okay. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's throw it out on the table. To see John Moxley go back to WWE would be awesome because all three members of the Shield have probably become some of the most popular wrestlers in wrestling history. Like anyone that doesn't think John Moxley is a great wrestler, go flush your head.
To quote The Rock, go home and smoke anyway. Continue.
Go do something, because the man has proven that he can take a company, put it on his back, and push forward. He's done that with AEW. He had to. Everyone else was hurt. He had to step up. He had to do something. He has become one of the greatest wrestlers. He has. Like, John Moxley went from a jobber in the indie circuit to a deathmatch wrestler, to a damn good deathmatch wrestler, to one of the most popular wrestlers. He's been the IGWP champion. I messed that all up.
IWGP champion, which we got to talk about. My boy Zack Sabre Jr. capturing that earlier.
He went to GCW, tore it up. He's been to 3 different federations, or promotions, and while working the same promotion in AEW, and tore it up. Like
4-time AEW champion.
Come on. Like, and he's bad? No. He might be one of the most successful members of the Shield besides Roman Reigns.
Look at this. Yeah, if I had to take a pile driver Moxley to it, yep. Very nice, clean pile driver. But, like, what you're saying is true, though. I think, look, anything could happen. We know that. But there's 2 factors that I think, are critical to this. Number one, he would have to want to go to WWE.
Right.
And from everything Mox has said, everything he's claimed, everything that, he claims to hold dear, he loves the flexibility and the creative. People are going to scoff at this statement, but the creative control he has in AEW. Like, and I'm saying this in a good way, because there are some guys that need producers, that need writers, that need, like, that is a thing. Like, some people need that. And you could argue that AEW, in some cases, should provide that more to some of their, especially younger stars. With Mox, he's not a guy who needs that. He's not a guy who thrives on that. He's not a guy who like, can just, like, take, like, word for word verbatim stuff and read it out. He is just a natural. Like we call Dustin Rose a natural. Like, John Moxley a natural. He's like the perfect combo between. Like, he's a in my opinion. If I had to give him like a wrestler comp, he is the modern day Terry Funk. And as great as Terry Funk was, as fantastic as
that's definitely a compliment. That's absolutely
in the best way. In the best way. Yep. And as great as he was, Trevor, he was able to become a legend by going against the grain.
Yep.
And sometimes when you have a Terry Funk and you have a Moxley, they are just wrestlers who thrive outside of the conglomerate ecosystem that is WWE. And I think he genuinely enjoys repping AEW because he's the guy. When we're talking about the face of AEW, we talk about the Elite. Of course, we talk about Kenny Omega. He is the ace of AEW. When the chips are down, they need someone to help save the company. He's their guy.
Yep, he is. I mean, and to piggyback off the Terry Funk thing, I mean, and like to call him that, like I said, is a great compliment. I mean, he just like Terry Funk, he's a trailblazer. Like, he's done things that not many people would expect a pro wrestler to do. Like, he's a pro wrestler with an indie wrestler mindset, and that's what helps him. That's what helps him succeed. I mean, that's what helped a lot of guys. Like, same thing with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes should have never started in WWE when he started. He honestly should have went overseas. He should have done New Japan. He should have done other places. He is a great indie wrestler. He needs better writers, but that's another day for another discussion for another day.
Here's $40. It's double what they're going to pay. God, I love Cody.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes you take these guys and you put them in like promotion like WWE, put them in promotion like AEW, WCW, and they don't translate the same.
Yeah.
Like, No one would have guessed one of the greatest wrestlers on WCW's roster would ever be Scott Norton. No, no one would ever great.
Well, that is we love Scott Norton. Shout out to Scott Norton. Everything he
The reason
accomplished
I
in
say
Japan.
that is he's New Japan. Back then, New Japan loved Scott Norton.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. I was gonna say
that's what I mean.
Well, Trevor,
if you can't put him in a top 10, he's like a top 50, maybe 60.
50.
But
shout out to Scott Norton. We love you, homie.
But you would do. But if you're talking about trailblazers, like wrestling trailblazers, like guys like Terry Funk, guys like that, he's up there because of what he did. Like he was what's the word I'm
Sting.
looking for?
Sting is another guy.
Absolutely.
He spent
Sting's
literally a cup of coffee in WWE, and he didn't need that to make a name for himself. In fact,
nope, he didn't.
In fact, Trevor, you could argue that I'm not gonna say he sullied his name because he's freaking Sting. Like he's never gonna be able to sully that name. But
no, it's Sting.
But he didn't go out the way that people wanted, and he didn't have that run in WWE. It was a horrible run, right?
It was terrible.
Yeah, but sometimes he's just that guy. I think Mox is that guy. I don't see him going back, but never say never. It's pro wrestling. You never know.
I mean, we never thought we'd see Cody back, but you know,
CM Punk, baby, hell froze over. You're damn right. You never know. We got resident Panthers fan. We got some trolling in the chat. We got resident Panthers fan agreeing with us. I can see Mox being the new Funk. Great analogy. Appreciate that. Yeah, resident Panthers fan Ryan Davis. Shout out to you, and I'm so sorry about your Panthers. 1-5. By the way, Trevor, football. Trevor, why'd you give us an update? How are the Cowboys doing?
I mean, I already told you how I felt about the Cowboys organization. Screw them.
No. But elaborate. You know, like Cowboys, did not have the best weekend.
They had a terrible weekend. But, I mean, let's just be honest. Like, does anybody really expect them to do anything?
Well, everyone likes to talk about the Cowboys. Everyone likes to talk about how great they are and how they're the best team.
Who has talked about how great they were this season?
Talking that talk, baby. Because
Skip Bayless gets paid to talk crap. Like they are. This year is probably the worst year for the Cowboys. They have no run game. They barely have a receiving core. They have no defense. They re-signed Dak Prescott for a whole lot of money that does not make sense right now. And before I finish, I'm not one of those guys that think Dak Prescott is a terrible quarterback because I don't think he is. But when you have no coach, what are you going to do? And in my Saints, they crap the bed too.
You got two teams, and both of them suck. Look, this is why I'm a Ravens fan, man. Like consistency, all right?
It looked pretty bleak there for a minute, but they have turned it around.
We pulled it out. What do you mean? We got the MVP.
They have turned it around.
We got two MVP candidates going up against each other.
You're getting healthy. That's the thing. You're getting healthy. And that's what you want. You want your team to get healthy.
Oh, we're about to get into football talk real quick. Trevor, what are your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers getting his wish and getting Devontae Adams?
I don't really think it's going to help.
They're 2-4, man. I like all that work, a third, second round pick, whatever, all that. Devontae Adams, man, like shout out to you, bro. Like he's taking a massive pay cut to make this work too. Like he's shaving like nearly $20 million off his salary. Shout out to you, my guy.
I don't think it's gonna help much. My buddy thinks him being at the Jets is like the second coming of Messiah. I don't know.
All this work to go from the 2-4 Raiders to the 2-4 Jets. All this work to finish 7-10? Come on now.
I need to come on your sports show.
Let's do it, man. Real Take Sports. Running Dax Fears Commanders. Yo, he better. He better. That Commanders team is no joke. I found out the hard way.
He better. The only thing that can save Dak Prescott if he can get that offense going, because the secondary, the Commanders, is kind of poo-poo.
Joe says, don't forget Ernest the Cat Miller. Hey, let me tell you something about Ernest the Cat Miller. Somebody call his mama, all right?
Somebody call his mama.
The greatest. Look. Everyone talks about Rikishi 2000 with Too Cool doing the dance in the middle of the ring. My favorite Royal Rumble spot, 2004. Ernest the Cat Miller and Lamont for no reason. No reason. Just walk into or run into the ring and their music is still playing and they just start dancing. You got Benoit and Orton right there. And they're like, what the fuck is this? And like, then Ernest the Cat Miller doing his thing. Taz is loving it, by the way, on commentary. Like, somebody call my mama. Hey, come on, JR. Hey, can you dance like that? Can you move like that? Come on. And then JR even clicks like, somebody better call my mama.
I still love JR to this day.
Oh my god, JR on this pay-per-view that was wildin', bro.
Wow.
He was cranky JR on this pay-per-view.
I can't wait to see one of the greatest wrestlers ever to grace the squared circle to wrestle again. Nigel McGuinness. Can't wait.
Oh, they teased it too with that Moxley thing. They definitely did.
Oh, I would pay money to see him and Moxley wrestle, dude. I don't care where they are. I'll go travel to see that live.
Well, you're gonna have to pay money because I doubt it's gonna be on TV.
I would love to see that.
You mentioned Jon Moxley. I think now is a good time as any to get into it. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, was almost murdered on live pay-per-view by attempted murderer and I would hope at this point convicted felon Jon Moxley. All right? It's a very serious thing. I've called the police. All right?
And you can't leave out William Yuta. Can't.
No, well, Wheeler Yuta, accessory. Well, no, actually, Moxley was the accessory. Wheeler Yuta was the attempted murderer.
It was.
Actually, no, now there's two because Mox tried to do it anyway. Anyway, look, multiple murders attempted. Bryan Danielson lost the AEW World Championship to Moxley via a sleeper hold. This in itself caused a lot of controversy online, Trevor. First of all, what did you think about the way the match ended? One of the criticisms is a sleeper hold. That's like a BS way to finish a match. Or, it sucked the air out of the arena. What are your thoughts?
You know what? Here's how I feel about the match, about that ending. So you talk about your boy so many times, and he is one of the greatest technical wrestlers in his generation. In your generation, he's one of the greatest technical wrestlers. To what would be more fitting or humiliating than to have one of the greatest technical wrestlers to go out to a submission? It may not have been like the best ending, but it was the ending that they needed to happen. Like everything for that, almost everything that happened with that match was almost perfect. I think it wasn't supposed to be pretty. It wasn't supposed to be a pretty match. It wasn't supposed to make you, holy shit. No, it was supposed to make you want to throw up. It was supposed to make you want to be like, this happened. They did this. It was meant to make you cringe. It was not supposed to be pretty. It wasn't supposed to be the match of the decade. It was supposed to be uncomfortable. It was supposed to be dark. It was supposed to be gruesome. And it was all three of those things. You got to pay attention to what Moxley's doing. Moxley is a genius. Tony Khan and Moxley are geniuses. What they're doing right now, if they do it correctly, is going to rock AEW. Honestly, I thought it was fitting. I didn't see the problem in it, but I do know other wrestling purists, or as I like to call marks, thought something different. But I honestly thought it was a perfect way to end it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Mox is this match and the way that he ended it, right? First of all, I want to make it clear. A sleeper hold to me is as good as pinning someone to the ground 1, 2, 3 because it accomplishes the same goal. You incapacitate your opponent so they cannot get up from a 3 count. In this case, you incapacitate your opponent until they can't get up, period. So, in my view, I believe that is fine. You know also why, Trevor? Because in MMA, you see that happen all the time.
All the time. all the time.
All the time.
I thought it was going to be a bulldog choke, to be honest with you. But the fact that it was a sleeper.
He's a vegan. That's so sad. He loves the animals. Anyway, but no, I thought, look, as much of a fan of Brian as I am, and as much as I'm going to genuinely miss him, and I was really sad in that moment, I spoke earlier about how, like, when I walked in or when I walked out, this felt different from any other AEW pay-per-view that I'd been to, and I meant it. Every other AEW pay-per-view that I'd been to live afterwards, it's almost like a little bit of like a party, like, you know, post-game kind of thing. Like, everyone's cheering, they're doing the chants, they're celebrating, people are talking to each other, they're jumping up and down, like, holy crap, that was such a great show, all that stuff, right? That's the vibe of every AEW pay-per-view I had left up until this point. That night, it was different. People weren't jovial. Some people were murmuring to each other, but the vibe was just missing. And to me, that is probably one of the best things emotionally that AEW has been able to accomplish ever, because they are the company that delivers these big moments. They are the company that deliver the satisfactory endings. And this time, they broke your hearts. They broke your hearts into little itty bitty pieces. And that was the intention. It wasn't only to take the air out of Bryan Danielson's lungs, it was to take the air out of the stadium, or the arena, excuse me, and they did it. And
they wanted to tell a story. They wanted to tell a story that made you uncomfortable, and they did.
Yeah. And for people who want to say, like, if it was too dark for you or whatever, that's fine. That is totally fine and valid. Like, you shouldn't watch it. But if you watched it, it was almost like watching, like, you know the vibe you get when you watch, like, a horror movie, you know, that has, like, a bad ending, or not a bad ending, but, like, you know, like a really dark ending. Or if you're watching, like, an episode of, like, Black Mirror or something, that's how I felt. Where you're, like, thinking about it, you're like, oh my God, what's next? That's the beautiful part, though. Because everyone was wondering, what's next? Mox wins the belt. He takes it. He throws it in a duffel bag as if he doesn't even care about it. And he focuses his attention on Brian. Darby's helpless to help Brian. And they Pillmanize him with the chair.
Like I've always said, a buddy of mine, he's really into horror just like myself. And he always said, there's beauty in darkness. And there is a beauty in darkness and chaos. And the way they did it, it was almost poetic. It was almost beautiful. But it was, like I said, it was meant to make you feel a certain way. It wasn't meant for you to be like, ooh, that was a great show. It was meant to be like, that was kind of fucked up. And so that's exactly what the sentiment they were going for. And that's the sentiment they got. Again, if it was too much for you, like Omer said, like, that's fine. Don't watch it. But I'm trying to tell you, you're about to see some great shit coming. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be for the faint of hearted, but it's going to be some good stuff coming. I'm trying to tell you. And
the cool thing is, like, there's so many different ways this can go. Like, even the Wheeler Yuta stuff, like Wheeler Yuta begrudgingly, what's it called? Suffocating Brian, right? To me, I'm like, it was really cool to see after the fact. Like, he was pushing. Claudio was trying to, put his shoulder on him, and he's like, get off of me.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm
do this. I didn't want to do this.
I didn't want to do this, but I knew that it was for the greater good.
Yep.
And there's
a subtle genius in this. And here's the thing. We still don't know exactly who's pulling the strings. We don't know if this is just Moxley pulling the strings or if there is a higher up that is pulling these strings. We don't know yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's also what makes the story interesting, too.
Well, Trevor, now I'm going to blow your mind a little bit.
Oh, no. You about to cook a little bit, man? You about to cook?
I'm about to break everyone's heart. Because, Trevor, I don't think you need Shane McMahon to make this story work.
You don't. The way they did it, you don't.
People are gonna be mad.
If no, you know what? I'm gonna let you finish.
So let me finish, and then we can cook.
I'm
together.
actually very curious.
We can cook together, but I want to make this clear to people out there who are wondering, like, does the story need Shane? The answer is no, because Trevor. The more I think about it, the more I listen back to what Moxley has said, and there's a theme of this company is not what it was supposed to be. And it's no longer what I came into. I came into a company that was supposed to represent pro wrestling. I came into a company where the young guys, all these young guys, the 5 pillars or the 4 pillars, Darby, Sammy, MJF, these guys were supposed to level up. These guys were supposed to take the mantle. These guys were supposed to represent a future, a brighter future for professional wrestling. Yet Jon Moxley, after 5 years, I'm still the ace. I'm still the one who has to carry this entire brand. It's still on me and my shoulders. That is not only an indictment on this entire company, but it's an indictment on those young guys. How dare they not step up? How dare they not have the guts to do it? And if they're not going to do it on their own, if the company isn't going to bring it out of them, well, I sure as hell am. And I think, in my view, that is what's motivating Mox here. And that is why Wheeler Yuta begrudgingly did what he did to Bryan. Because while Darby Allin was looking on, while you had Adam Cole, baby, and others in the back, Orange Cassidy looking on, they knew what they did that night at Wrestle Dream by taking out Bryan the way they did, and as emotional and as guttural as it was, they knew that is what they needed to hopefully ignite that fire in these young guys, because that is the story they're telling. They're like, they are being, the sacrificial, like pawns or whatever in this game. They are saying, we are going to do whatever it takes to take it from, or to have you guys take it from us. And if you can't, and if you don't, then this company shouldn't exist anyway. And that's what I think is motivating Mox. That's what I think is motivating this entire group. Because it has never been about selfishness. And Claudio's made it clear everything they've done to Bryan has been begrudgingly. It is not because necessarily there's a higher power that's focusing in on those things. And in that way, look, we love the idea of Shane. I love the idea of Shane being in this.
It's a great idea.
And it's still a good idea. But it's not the only one that would work. And it's not... and we're not talking about ratings. We're not talking about business. We're talking about story.
Story, yep, absolutely.
And the look on Darby's face, that pay-per-view ended with Darby Allin being as dejected and as broken as he's ever been. And I think the way this story ends is by him being the one to take that belt off of Mox.
I hate that we think the same way. Because that's exactly my point. I was honestly thinking the same thing. There is no Shane McMahon. They don't really need Shane McMahon. Now, if Shane McMahon comes up in a way, there are many ways to bring him in. But like you said, somebody step up. I'm sick of this company going the way it's going. I'm putting the company on my shoulders. I'm doing this. Someone step up. And the reason Darby is involved, because Darby is going to be the one to take it off. And I've been, and once I sat down and actually thought about it, I was like, yes, that's what happened.
I'm telling you, man. And like the thing is, there's still a way if they're gonna bring in Shane, they could bring in Shane. You could bring in Shane with the EVPs and whatever story they're telling. That would definitely help ignite that story because it needs it. But the more I think about it, man, I'm like, from a pure storytelling standpoint, you don't need that salacious, like insane big moment. You just need to tell a story that makes sense. Think about the best story that AEW's ever told, the rise of Hangman Page. That didn't involve major debuts. That didn't involve bringing in guys from outside. It involved a lot of exciting moments. But it also involved you being there for the ride, tuning in week to week. That is the beautiful part about this story. I think it has accomplished that. I don't think Shane McMahon is needed for this. If
No.
this is the direction they're going in, and if it is Trevor,
it's gonna be good.
it's gonna be good.
Now, my question for you is: do you think other people are gonna be added to this? Do you think it's just gonna be Moxley and Pac and Claudio and even Yuta?
Let him grow. Let him grow. Bring in.
I think bring more people.
Bring in the
Make it
guys,
bigger.
man. Bring in the veterans. Give me a group that wants to elevate AEW to the next level. Give me that group.
Exactly. Hey, and you know what? At some point, all of them should have a belt. At some point.
Hey, man, you want to know something wild, though? You really want to bring out the devil in Darby? There's one way to do it, Trevor.
You've been cooking so far. Come on, bring it out. You've been cooking so far.
Trevor, Darby Allin beat down, bloody, bruised, his first attempt losing to Jon Moxley for the AEW championship.
Mm-hmm.
His father, Sting, comes down to the ring, consoling his son, Darby. Because, of course, they're father and son.
Right.
They both have face paint. That's just how it works.
Right.
And then Mox looks at Sting. He looks at Darby. Looks back at Sting and says, "I'm sorry, Stinger." Boots him right in the face. And the entire BCC start beating down Sting. Marina Shafir holds back Darby Allin. Wheeler Yuta ties him to the ropes, much like they did with Bryan.
And let him watch.
And then Jon Moxley takes a plastic bag and puts it over Sting's face.
Like I said, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be uncomfortable. The way they're going to do it, it's going to be uncomfortable. And there's going to be a lot of that. A lot of that going on in it. Like screwdrivers, plastic bags. There's going to be a lot of beatdowns. A lot of them. But the end game will be Darby holding that belt.
Yep. We'll see, man. We'll see. I did say not going to happen. The hero that returns to take the company will be Ospreay. It could be Ospreay.
It could be Ospreay. It could be.
But that man, that image of Darby, I'm just like, man, you know, like, here's the thing. I will say this. Ospreay can win the AEW World Championship at any moment. He's ready for it.
Right.
Darby, ready. I think this storyline is what elevates him to that level.
Exactly. And they've been trying to get Darby to that level for a long time. But honestly, I think this is what does it. Honestly. It makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, man. Oh man. Trevor, we cooking a little bit too much.
We're doing all right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. But yeah, no, Wrestle Dream was crazy. We got a bunch of chats, guys. I can't even keep up with all these. Finally, someone positive AEW. We are positive about all wrestling.
We always spoke.
Except when it's shit.
Which is mostly Raw.
Hey, Raw. Pretty soon, I'm only going to be watching Raw and Dynamite. So.
Yeah, true.
Look. When
you're not watching SmackDown anymore?
I got to cut the cord, man. Like, look, one show is not enough to keep me. I got Netflix. I got Max. That's all I need.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Is Chris Jericho back to WWE? Hell no. He signed through 2028.
Yeah, he's not going back to WWE. I don't think he has a desire to go back to WWE.
Can you do a Bret Hart impression? Oh, yeah. Well,
his Bret Hart is actually pretty good.
That rat bastard Goldberg, you know, ended my career, and you know, I used to be bitter about it, just like I was bitter about the Montreal screw job when Vince, you know, fucking screwed me, the bastard. But you know, I was, you know, then I just think about my brother Owen.
Owen's very hard to do.
I am hard. Not a nugget.
Yeah, like Owen's hard to do. Like it's
I kicked your leg out of your leg.
because like it's kind of high pitched and nasally, and like it's really hard to do.
That rat bastard Goldberg. he ended my career. The the son of a bitch.
I am not.
He's so no. Yo, it's like the way Bret Hart curses is kind of wild because like he
It
means
is funny.
it's not even like he's not even he means it. He's like
No,
that son of a bitch Goldberg.
That son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. He said, "Yeah, there was a bunch." Like when he was talking about when he was on the in the documentary, he was like, "Yeah, like fuck that guy."
And by the way, good friend, the Wrestling Classic just interviewed Bret Hart up in Vancouver, so shout out to him for that for snagging that interview.
That's awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Trevor, can you do any impressions?
So here's the thing about impressions, and I think I've told you this like off camera. I actually wanted to be a comedian when I was a kid. But
you failed at that.
Because I'm not funny. I'm just funny looking.
Same twin.
but no, like I actually wanted to do. I wanted to be a comedian when I was a kid, and like I wanted to learn impressions and all that stuff, and I was good at certain impressions, but my style of comedy was always like physical comedy, like slapstick comedy.
Oh no!
Like I've always those guys
Bean
like
comedy.
John Ritter, like guys like John Ritter from Three's Company, guys like even Chevy Chase back then. Screw that guy. Even Dick Van Dyke and a couple other things. Like
Chevy
that was
Chase,
always
the rat bastard.
I mean, that was a lot of my comedy. Can I still do any impressions? I don't know. I haven't tried in a long time.
Who's your favorite TV character?
Jeez, I don't know. I used to be able to do Cartman. My voice changed. I could do Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. My voice changed.
You guys are going ahead.
I used to do. I used to actually do roll call in my school as Cartman, and my teacher hated it.
Cow. Asshole.
My king, my papa. Your king, my papa.
He Kenny.
I used to do Beavis. Can't do Beavis anymore. From Beavis and Butthead.
We're gonna score.
My Beavis was so good.
You do a little Hank Hill?
You know what? If I actually focus, I probably could do Hank Hill, but I've never really tried to
do little. Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby. That's Brock Lesnar. Bobby, damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Damn it, Bobby.
Propane.
I was king of the hill. Now I'm king of the mother-loving trap. Hank
Trap. That song's hilarious.
Shout out to Hank Trap.
Yeah. You know what? One show I am going to do a few impressions.
You have to do the entire show as Hank. Not Hank Hill. Hank Trill. No,
not Hank Hill. But I will find some impressions to do because like I actually can do a few. I just don't know what I can do now. It's been so long.
Better than my Cena impression when I was 11 calling my classmates. Oh, well, dear. Yeah, no. Do not call your classmates what John Cena used to call people.
Yes, don't do that.
Oh, man.
They may have deserved
it. Oh, man. Trevor, well, you went on an odyssey this weekend, Trevor.
Yes.
You want to tell the people. So, Trevor did us a favor and watched a bit of wrestling just so we didn't have to. So why don't you tell the people about it?
So yeah, like I'm probably gonna put a full thing on OT Graps channel.
Be sure to subscribe.
Yes, but I don't remember a lot of the Attitude Era, and I watched a lot of that wrestling back when I was a kid, like back and forth from WCW to WWF. I just don't remember a lot of it. And we were talking last week. I had a great idea. I said, you know what? Let me watch a little bit of it. And where the Attitude Era starts is a little wonky to some. So some believe it starts right after WrestleMania 13. Some believe it starts right after the Montreal School Drop. So I started right after WrestleMania 13. And let me tell you, I do not understand why so many people think this is like the golden era of wrestling.
Oh.
I grew up. I grew up in this. This is what I watched. I watched Shawn Michaels. This is the wrestling I watched. And I still don't understand. Dude, I was one episode in, I'm like, what, 5, 6 now. And this is what I got. The show is, like I told Omer, like maybe 40 minutes of mediocre wrestling by guys who are terrific wrestlers, but you would never know it if you saw them in WWF. And the rest of it is talking and Bret Hart whining.
Nothing has changed, Trevor.
It's like Stone Cold comes out, tells Bret, "Oh, Bret, yeah, I'm gonna come whoop your ass, and I'm gonna drink some beer, and then I'm gonna call you a sissy, and then I'm gonna beat your pink and black ass all over."
Wait, Bret Hart's what ass?
Pink and black ass. That's what he said.
You get to the point though, Trevor. You didn't watch. No one watched the Attitude Era for the matches. The matches were bad.
No.
Horrible wrestling. Horrible wrestling in the Attitude Era.
Wrestling. And to be honest, like they had some of the best wrestlers. Dude, Savio Vega is a legend in his country. Like Farouk, very first African American champion. Rocky Maivia, one of the first colored men of color Intercontinental champion. You had all of these things. Supposed to be great, right? No. The Nation of Domination was the funny. I forgot how funny the Nation of Domination was. Like Nation of Domination had like 5 black people and like 6 white people at one point. Crush, who also was a great wrestler in his own, right? In that era, you had Undertaker winning the heavyweight championship. He had the championship. Him at Psycho, you had Psycho Sid. Like you would think this is great. The wrestling was boring.
I will say, Trevor, as someone who went back, look, when the WWE Network came out,
right?
I went back because I was like in like 9th grade or something. I had a lot of time. I was a kid. Right. I went back. I watched everything on that sucker.
Oh yeah,
I watched.
Like I said, I remember a lot of it, but I went back to refresh my memory.
Watched everything on that thing, and one thing I can tell you is, having watched every Attitude Era pay-per-view, and also like most Raws, I will say, most Raws. Whoo! You are in for a world of hurt when you get to the latter part of 97. One good storyline, all of them really bad. But here's the thing. You get lucky when you get to like 98 or like 99. 99 is when you get really lucky.
99, yeah.
99, 2000, fantastic. Wrestling's horrible. But,
but
Raw is fantastic.
The entertainment aspect.
Oh, that's it. That's what you watch. You watch
not bad.
The 1 or 2 segments on that show that were great, were out of this world great. Everything else sucked. Horrible.
Oh, absolutely.
Choppy PP.
And if anyone ever tells me, and I knew this before, but if anyone ever tells me that Vince McMahon was a great commentator, I got a lot of questions.
What a maneuver!
This is Owen Hart, Bret Hart's brother, and how he's coming in, he's wrestling. King, did you know the Harts had a lot of wrestlers in their family?
A lot of wrestlers, over 54,000 wrestlers in their family. And we got the what a maneuver. Oh, we got a 1, 2 new champion. No.
Shawn Michaels is coming out, and look at him. He's spicing up the crowd. Look at him go. What?
Meanwhile, Stu Hart's looking over at Vince as bastard. How dare you talk to my kids that way?
And every time Gorilla Monsoon is standing next to Vince, you just feel him staring a hole in Vince's head.
Because Vince stole the company from
It's like,
Vince stole the company. That company was going to Gorilla Monsoon.
it was going to Gorilla Monsoon, yeah, but he literally stole it right from under his hands.
Yeah, man. But look,
It's-
look, here's the thing. It does get better. I will say
No,
it
does.
a lot better.
If I'm not mistaken, like you said, around 98, 99, that's when it picks up. But right now, right in this era, the best thing on TV is probably nothing.
Hey, man,
That has to do-
look, 97 Bret Hart, though. You're in for a treat. My guy is going to, when you get the...
He's going wild. He's about to he's building the new Hart Foundation. And he said nothing good ever happened in America.
Shout out. That's my second favorite Bret Hart. That is my second favorite Bret Hart. Like anti-America Bret Hart.
Anti-America Bret Hart is very interesting. And also another one that I like is in that is also Owen Hart. I love Owen involved in this because at this point Owen and Bret and Bulldog are tag team champions, and Bulldog is the European champion. Shawn has not taken it from him yet. It's a lot. It's a lot.
I kicked your leg out of your leg.
I kicked you.
the greatest. Look. This is why Owen Hart is the greatest. All right. Fantastic. I
kicked your leg out of your leg.
Damn right he did.
And this is way after Shawn lost his smile, and and all that other crap. I mean, honestly, he got beat up. He got beat up in Buffalo because he was drunk. We're not getting into it, but yes, but that's why
Shawn Michaels drunk in the 90s. Whoa, no way.
What that happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, it's actually quite. Yeah, it's painful, but it's interesting.
All right. Well, we'll see, man. I can't wait to hear more about this journey.
And another journey I'm gonna do probably after this. Deathmatch wrestling. I'm going to look at some of the best death matches.
Have fun with that.
That's going to be fun.
Have fun with that. Well, guys, let us know what you guys think in the chat. Hit that like button. Go over to youtube.com/OTGraps and subscribe. Trevor, we got two more things to talk about. But I want to get your thoughts on women's wrestling, the state of women's wrestling in general. How are you feeling about
it? We've touched on this, I think, like last week. All in all, I like it. I mean, honestly, I believe NXT is especially in this time period, it's single-handedly saving women's wrestling. NXT has one of the best women's divisions around, and I've said that before, and I'll say it again. The talent that they have. Roxana Perez, Valkyrie, like some of the ladies they have coming up now. Like it's just they have a great women's they put out great women's product. I think that women's wrestling is getting more I guess getting noticed more, getting more attention because of ladies like Roxanne Perez and whatever, but honestly, it's good. TNA is a good one too. TNA is definitely a good women's product. Of course, New Japan has theirs as well. Like I mean, there's a lot of good women wrestling. You just gotta find it. I honestly am very impressed and happy what they're doing with the women's wrestling in AEW. So all in all, I think it's going in the right direction, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. But well, Trevor, speaking of women's wrestling, PWI released their top 250 women's wrestlers of the year. Let's take a look at the top 10. This has definitely caused a lot of discourse online. At number 10, you have the Queen of Ring of Honor, Athena, the reigning defending Ring of Honor Women's World Champion at that number 10 spot. At number 9, Trevor, we have Mariah May, the AEW Women's World Champion. And ahead of her is the woman she beat at Wrestle Dream, Willow Nightingale at number 8, followed up by Bayley, the former WWE Women's World Champion, at number 7, and Sayri at number 6, followed up, because I ain't done yet, by Stephanie Vaquer at number 5, Meka at number 4. Hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. My bad. Number 3, Rhea Ripley, arguably WWE's hottest as far as momentum women's performers. Jordynne Grace, current Knockouts women's champion. And at number 1, as Ryan Davis in the chat says, the timeless one, Toni Storm. Toni Storm at number 1. React, Trevor. What do you think of this list?
You know what? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
There's a few that kind of missed the mark, but for the most part, it's not a bad list. I don't know if I will put Mariah May on there so far at number 9 quite yet. Don't get me wrong. I love the work she's doing. And I think she was a great choice to put the belt on. I don't think she's number 9 quite yet. Willow, to me, is a little low. I think maybe 6.
Let's talk about it.
I think maybe 6. The work Willow has done in the past couple of years, if you're going to put her in the top 10, I honestly think she's a little low. I think she should be maybe 6, 5 or 6. Bayley's return has been a little bit not the best.
Role model.
Honestly, not the best. I love Bayley. I absolutely love Bayley, and I maybe a few years ago, I agree with this. Right now, I don't know. I think Jordynne Grace and Toni Storm are interchangeable, honestly. 1 and 2, I'm fine with it. And honestly, you can throw Rhea up to that 1, 2, 3 spot. I honestly don't really have a problem with that at all. Honestly, I think that's cool. But I do have a problem with Roxana Perez not being on the top 10. What she's doing at NXT is worth noticing and worth noting. I think she should be in the top 10. And maybe I'm the only one that thinks that, but I think she's being top 10, honestly.
Listen, man. I could not agree with you anymore. Roxanne Perez, put her in the top 10.
I think she deserves it. She's had that belt, almost 2 years? A year or two, something
Basically.
like that? And she's been putting on 5 and 10-star matches. Like she's been she literally is the reason most people watch the women's division in NXT. Like, let's be honest. She what she's doing over there is amazing, and she should definitely be up here.
Let me talk to you real quick, because I agree. I think that not only should Roxanne Perez be on here, but there's another person who's on this list who deserves to be about 5 or 6 spots ahead of where she is.
Well, what you thinking?
You want to talk about someone who's been a world champion, who's been carrying.
Yep.
It's the woman in that number 10 spot, Athena.
I thought we were on the same page.
We usually are. But that is not an indictment on any of these other women. I'm going to say it, I am not as familiar with Joshi wrestling as I was 5-6 years ago. There's a lot of wrestling on TV. I got to prioritize what I watch. Having seen a lot of what Stephanie Vaquer did, especially outside of AEW in the lead up to Forbidden Door, I really got caught up to her stuff. She's great. I would switch her and Athena, though.
Me too. I definitely would too. I like Stephanie Vaquer. I do. And I think she's amazing. I think she's good. But I would definitely switch her with Athena. I'd switch her with Athena. Mariah may not be in my top 10. And that's not a shot
for you, Trevor. No kisses for you.
Oh, darn. And it's not a shot to Mariah May. I think she's good. I really do. She's not there yet.
I mean, I know there's gonna be people crashing out. Where's Liv Morgan? Look, Liv Morgan could have made this list, but like, it's a tough thing. Like,
she has the title. She's not the hottest wrestler in her.
I'll say this, man. Toni Storm deserves it. Like Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, like Jordan Grace, all three of them, like interchangeable. They deserve it.
Absolutely. Do whatever you want.
The story and the matches that Toni Storm was able to have, like she's genuinely responsible. Her and Mariah May for like arguably one of the greatest endings to Dynamite ever.
Absolutely.
That beatdown is iconic. That image.
Did you see the post she put up? Oh, because she's in Florida.
Oh dear.
During the hurricane. It was absolutely hilarious.
Well,
she
now
did
I
it
gotta
in
try to find it.
It was on Instagram. She did it in character, and she was like, just a quick update here. I'm wet. I'm in Florida, and then the dog Starbucks. She goes, shut up.
Oh man, hold up. Now I gotta find it.
Oh, it's great, dude. It's the Timeless Toni Storm is probably the best gimmick by far she could have picked up. Like, I love it. Like, if you don't like Timeless Toni Storm, like, what are you really doing right now?
Toni Storm, Toni. I was chanting that for no reason at Wrestle Dream. Oh man. Oh, sorry.
Timeless Toni Storm, Rhea Ripley, Grace, and Athena. I don't mind that, but like I said, I honestly believe those three are interchangeable. You can put them any way you want.
I agree as well. Well, Trevor, I got one more thing on the list to talk about, and then we can just kind of shoot the breeze.
Sure.
One of the greatest tag teams in the history of the world, the Motor City Machine Guns, are WWE bound. It's about to happen, Trevor. What are your thoughts?
I can't wait. I can't wait. They're going to turn that tag division on its ear. Dude, I cannot wait.
For the people out there who may not be as familiar with the Motor City Machine Guns, what are your thoughts? What would you tell them?
Motor City Machine Guns, by far, in my opinion, one of the greatest tag teams to have wrestled. One of the greatest tag teams that never got the recognition they honestly deserve. I mean, they did a lot on the indie scene. I mean, they did a lot in TNA. They just mesh so well together. Like, and they're not big guys either. They're not tiny, but they're not big guys. But to do what they do, is amazing. A lot of people compare them to like the Rock and Roll Express or Midnight Express and stuff like that. And I can see the comparison. Tag teams like that walked, so tag teams like Young Bucks can run. And that's just true. Like, if you didn't have guys like Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll, and the Motor City Machine Guns, you wouldn't have Young Bucks. Like, these guys have like literally started a generation of wrestling fans. They're amazing. If you've never seen them, look this stuff up. Alex Shelley and what's the other one's name? What's the partner? Alex
Chris
Shelley's
Sabin, baby.
Chris Sabin. I couldn't think his name. Sorry. Yeah, Chris Sabin. But great singles competitors in their own right, but amazing tag wrestlers. How'd you get on the Motor City Machine Guns? Like, when did you start watching them?
TNA
or
it was TNA. It was TNA. I'm trying to remember. I think, like the vague memory is a match between the Machine Guns and Beer Money.
Oh yeah,
that's the vague memory that I have of like the first time I noticed them. But all I knew was like immediately I was like, oh, these guys are flying. That's fun. And bro, like looking back, I cannot wait. If there was a team that, they needed to inject some lifeblood in there, especially with Rey Fenix and Penta, Tony Khan being like, Yeah, and one more year on that contract, baby. He's sticking around, Ray, whether you like it or not. I don't know why Tony Khan was JBL there. Ray, come on now, daddy. He gonna stick around for another year. But especially with the Lucha Bros not coming in, opens up an opportunity on the main roster that was going to be saved for them. That main roster needs tag teams like it's nobody's business. And they're about to get arguably the most decorated tag team that has never stepped foot in WWE, including the Young Bucks. I'm not saying better, but I'm talking about decorated titles, like longevity, all that stuff. That is what the Motor City Machine Guns have, and they are not slowing down one bit, much like, well, actually, no, I was going to say much like a Ford truck, but those Ford trucks slow down like after a year. But regardless, shout out Detroit, shout out Eminem, do not hurt me, Grandpa Slim. But
boy, tough.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be great.
I mean, yes. Should they have been in WWE a lot sooner? Yes, I agree. But if you've seen them wrestle recently, there's no way you can call these guys mid-carders. There's no way you can call them mid-carders. Like, what tag team in WWE is better than them? The only...
Just me, Oos. Oh, no, just us, Oos. Day one is just
Don't get me wrong.
Oos.
That would be a great.
Yo, give me Usos versus
Usos, the Motor City Machine Guns. Oh, those would be great matches.
Hey, yo.
Hell, Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. Oh my
man, let's go, bro. Get him on there. Let's go. Triple H, I don't care. No story, because you're not good at that. So don't tell no stories. Just give me matches. Just give me matches. Let him go out there. Let the machine. You want to get me to watch SmackDown? Machine Guns, Usos, 2 out of 3 falls. Boom, I'm watching.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Machine Guns, DIY, submission. I'm watching. Machine Guns, A-Town Down Under. I ain't watching that bullshit. But I love you, baby. I ain't not watching that bull Hulk Hogan.
No, I mean, it is WWE, so there is a way they could not use.
Hey, yo, Ryan is crashing out in the chat. That's crazy.
You see it?
That is crazy. I can't even pull that up, Ryan. I'm sorry. That is wild. Anyway, Machine Gun.
But dude, hilarious. But yeah, like, I mean, if done well, it should be fun. It could be fun. It better be fun. My dog is sniffing stuff. I'm trying to figure out what he's
doing. Vroom, baby. Let's go. Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. Can't wait.
Do we have a timeline for it or no?
Friday.
Yes.
This Friday, man. It's happening.
Okay.
I can't wait.
It doesn't have a reason to watch SmackDown.
Yeah, one reason. We found one reason.
Found a reason. Yeah, I do. I mean, I have 2 now. Ellie Knight.
Yeah. Oh man, Trevor. Outside of terrible Attitude Era stuff, what are you watching lately?
It is spooky season. I am a horror movie guru. I love horror movies, as I've said before, and Peacock has found a reason for me to keep it. So I've been watching. They have some classics. They have Maniac Cop. Of course they have Christie.
Oh my God, no! So the guy in Maniac Cop. I'm sorry, the the guy in Maniac Cop. The guy with the very prominent chin.
Yeah, you talking about the same guy that was in Evil Dead.
The same guy who was in Samurai Cop.
Ah, yes. Gotcha.
So for those of y'all who don't know, there is this B movie by the name of Samurai Cop that was shot in the 80s. One of the poorly produced movies I've ever seen, but it is magic. It is. Let me talk to you. Like, it was such a badly produced movie, Trevor, that when they redubbed like some of the scenes, they couldn't afford to bring in like extras to redub over their parts. So
did
it's
hear
just
that.
the director like dubbing over like extras going, hey, stop. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, now, don't do that. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, hey. It's like the same voice, same cadence, and it's like, but it's I could watch Samurai Cop, but also watch Maniac Cop. I apologize for interrupting, but I was like, you mentioned Maniac Cop, and I was like, the dude, the shit.
Dude, Maniac Cop is one of my favorite bad horror movies. I love that and a couple of them, but there's a bunch of them on there, and I've been watching, just watching them. I actually finally finished. I got a chance to watch the R.L. Stein horror movies on Netflix, Fear Street. I finally got a chance to watch, but I've been trying to watch them for years at this point. I finally got a chance to watch the first one. I'm in the middle of the second one. Very good. A lot more violent than I thought R.L. Stein was going to be, which love it. But yeah.
Hey man, you want to get some real scary stuff? Watch Black Mirror. It's scary because it's real.
Black Mirror is good. Black Mirror is very good, actually. It's very, very good.
Yeah, a lot of Black Mirror this month. A lot of Black Mirror this month. I'm probably gonna go back and watch all the kids. Look, I grew up on Halloween like shows like for kids. So Hey Arnold's Halloween in the bucket. I'm watching that. Rugrats Halloween, definitely gonna be watching that.
Cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so lot of cool. Terrifier 3 coming out. Ain't nobody watching that crap.
No, Terrifier.
First one sucked.
They're good for gore. They're good for gore. That's it. They're not good for story. If you're looking for a story-driven horror movie, you're not going to find
it.
Just watch
AEW.
You're not going to find it there. It's literally just for the gore. But Joe, I started watching From. From is actually really, really good. I started watching From not too long ago. It's actually really good. If you guys haven't seen it yet, check it out. It's really good.
It's gonna be great. Can't wait. I'm tired now, Trevor.
I do. I was falling asleep before I got on.
Yeah, but we pushed through just for you. Guys, thank you so much. Be sure to go over to youtube.com/OT Graps. All the clips, all the stuff. My boy Trevor is going to be taking us through his Attitude Era's journey. And
yeah, got a lot of stuff coming for you
God
guys.
bless you. God bless you, sir. I could not imagine.
Lots of coffee.
Coffee and maybe a little bit of something else, you know.
Why not?
You never know. You might need something and get you through the time.
You never know. Yeah, you
look,
never know.
Look, hey, oh, come on, hey. Why don't you keep it? All right. But I've had like this, like it's literally like a $20 bill with like a bunch of ones just like on my desk for like the past like 2 months. I don't know why. But I use it as a prop every time we do a podcast. I'm just like, look, Young Bucks, hey, wait, we make money here, baby. Guys, go over there, subscribe, youtube.com/OTGraps. Be sure to go over on Twitter. Follow my man Trevor at TREVERTAINMENT. That is TREVERTAINMENT. Every week, every Tuesday, 7-ish p.m. We're here, except on election night because I will be on assignment, dealing with whatever the hell happens that night. God help us either way. But we're going to be here to get y'all through it. Be sure to go over to youtube.com/OTGraps. Subscribe. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.
Love those who are far, hug those who are close. Take care of yourself, guys.
And fuck Matt Cardona.